yeah, it could look like, but it's Sagrada Familia.
Yeah.
In
Yeah, because I want to say, isn't this the church in Barcelona?
in Barcelona, yes, yes. Gaudi created that design, and this is the first picture how it looked like 140 years ago. In the middle of the fields there was nothing, and they just started to build this cathedral, and it's all only from the gifts of normal people. There is no investor, and that's why it takes so long. It's already 140 years in construction, and it will take another 30 years to be finished. But you can imagine that our unconsciousness is this blueprint. That's the idea what you can build, and it's up to you what you create in your life, because this is your potential, and some people will end up here. Some people will stay at that level of the basic consciousness. They care only to have a kind of a roof, and they can survive. Or you can build this final cathedral of your life, of your personality, which is the path to enlightenment. Enlightenment means to create the light that shines in the dark corners of your unconsciousness. So expanding the consciousness means to building from that potential that is inside of you, this amazing cathedral of your personality. And that's what all these religions and psychology talks about, and philosophies, that you want to become as good, as beautiful as possible. And all of us, we have this potential, but it's up to us. We can decide. We can live like the people around in the area where we are in Artula. You can see there are just a piece of metal or a piece of plastic, but they have TV, of course, and mobile, but they can live this life because they decided. And you can't change it. You can't just motivate them, educate them. You can inspire them if they are aware at least a little bit. They can move slowly to somehow a state of consciousness, to a better personality. So maybe they will build up a first level and a second level in this life. But majority of the people, they stay in a very basic layer of consciousness. So then you know, and you see it in the world, what's going on, what's happening, and it's impossible to change it just by trying to convince other people to change themselves. They can do it, but it's up to them. You can't force them. This is just another possibility how to show what's consciousness and what is unconsciousness. How sometimes Carl Gustav Jung was explaining it as this iceberg, and you see only a very little, and that's your personal consciousness. Majority of things that affect your life, your feelings, your emotions, how you perceive the world, are hidden. You don't know about them. You are not aware of them. They are affecting you, your life, but you are not consciously aware that they are there. And it's like 90-95% of your life is affected by the things that you are not aware of. And to become whole, to become a full personality, means that you uncover these things that affect your life. That sometimes you can become angry, sometimes you meet a people that you are not okay with them, you just feel that something strange is there. But it's basically these things that are in your unconsciousness that affects your decisions and your behavior, even though you don't realize what it is. So what you perceive now is just a very little, it's 2-3%, and the rest is hidden somewhere. And then there is a collective unconsciousness, and it's like a hard drive of the whole universe. And you can't directly connect into that, even though we are somehow connected, but to open it, it doesn't fit, because our brain and our personal consciousness is not so huge so we could understand it or we can see it. So first we need to expand our possibilities. We need to open ourselves to be able to see how the world really looks like in its wholeness, and to have capacity to understand it. Otherwise it can be overwhelming. That's why people that go for I don't know, these drug trips, and they try to expand the consciousness by the external help, they can get very deep in the unconsciousness, their personal unconsciousness, and deeper you go, the bigger animals are there and monsters that you hit in your unconscious. And people call that trauma or fears or angers, and it's hidden somewhere. But if it's open suddenly through some artificial external experience, it will, this border, this protection which is in between the consciousness and unconsciousness, it will dissolve. And you can dive very deep in that ocean, and there could be difficult things that you can't integrate. So either people, if they are not ready to have such an experience, we call it mystical or spiritual experience, if they are not ready and they will get so deep, they can get issues for the whole life. They can get schizophrenia or other problems, even more conceal these traumas that they have, because they see them, but they are so overwhelming that your brain will again close them and get them very deep in your unconsciousness. But they will still affect you, but you don't know about that. Or sometimes people can have a good trip, that they see colors and visions, but when they return back into a normal state of consciousness, they are not ready, and their capacity to understand it is not there. So they will lose, and they will just feel kind of emotion and connection. Okay, it was good, it was like, but they are not able to use it in a normal life. They will lose the experience. What's going on? Iguanas. And then that's why they need to return to that raush again, and they go every 6 months to lick the frog or do some crazy stuff, rituals, to remind themselves that there is something which is behind our normal border of perception, but they are not able to use it in their life, and that's problematic. Yeah,